Feel like a boss right now. Talk to the man right now. Oh, yeah. Feel like the man right now. Your girl on my line right now. Oh, yeah. Shorty all up in my feel. Yeah. She love me in the gray sweatpants. You never left. Yeah. Feeling like a boss, I done made it. Get so like a spaceship. I swear my life is amazing. Blowing money, no hesitation. Down, no basic. I know these be hating, but that's what made me feel like in the real life. Dripping all sauce in the good life. You shine, I shine, and ain't nobody gonna take mine. I just wanna be a boss. I will never ever fall. I woke up and I'm feeling like a boss right now. I'm gonna hold it down, I swear. I roll up
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. It can certainly get loud inside this building, and just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with the New Orleans Saints. Both of these teams about to reach the halfway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Breeze leaves this one with Kamara. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Alvin Kamara really settling into the league in his second season. And, of course, he came out of Tennessee, but not a lot of people remember he started at Alabama.
He did, and got caught in that big mix of running backs at Bama. And they like those bigger, thicker runners, those guys who can break down defenses through the middle. Alvin Kamara ended up leaving Alabama, going to a junior college for a while. I believe he went to Hutchinson Junior College before matriculating at Tennessee and finding his way to the NFL, where he is now a star.
It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Good set. Over.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Now Breeze throwing on 2nd down. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Easy.
They'll run for the first time with Mark Ingram. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebacker. Set the edge.
Breeze to throw on second down. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. It'll be a gain of 9, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So, second catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Absolutely. This early, the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So, if they can get him going in the passing game, it should open up his running game, too. They go with the fullback line, and he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. Just a yard, but that's all they needed, and by the slimmest of margins, it'll be 1st and goal.
3rd and inches, just turn around, hand it to the big guy, and let him plow forward and pick up a first down. A lot of people think that the offensive line, they may almost take the play off because they got a big guy back there pushing forward. I think it actually works in reverse. I think they block harder because they love seeing that guy get the ball because he doesn't touch it very often.
Set! Green 39! Green 39! Hot! Hot!
They'll try to run it in, going option right. Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he'll barrel his way into the end zone for a Saint touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Saints have taken the early lead. Will Lutz on for the point after. Lutz good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. Gets around him. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. And it's a welcome back to health for last year's #1 pick. This is Dalvin Cook. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 2nd and 12. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
4 down. Hey, Steamer. Hey, Steamer. Lynch 50. Lynch 50, here we go.
Play fake. Cousins. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. These two teams, of course, met in the much-dissected NFC divisional round game a season ago, and they also met in the Monday night opener last year. And Adrian Peterson's return to Minnesota, gosh, that seems like a lifetime ago. And it was actually Peterson's replacement, though, Dalvin Cook, who went for 127 yards in a 29-19 Viking victory. On 3rd down, Cousins. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Ken Crawley. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
On second down, Ingram shreds the tackle, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Cut.
Throwing on third down, Hill escaping the pressure right. He may try and run for this. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
I liked his effort there. He got it done on his own. But let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the first down. On 4th down, off goes Drew Brees, and on comes the Saints kicker, Will Lutz, for the field goal attempt. This will be a 37-yard attempt. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Play action now. Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball?
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. Cousins now. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Cousins to his tight end Rudolph for a Viking first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Cousins on first down. It's complete to Laquan Treadwell. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Cousins now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. They'll throw again. Cousins. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Tyler Davison getting in there from his defensive tackle spot to snow him under for a loss of 4. Second and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. Here's Cousins. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throwing is Cousins. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. A short gain there of just 4, and that'll bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen. Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he spins through. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. Tackle made by Eric Kendricks.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd down, here's Breeze. Flush to his right. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Anderson Aho. And they'll start out with great field position. At the 47-yard line in enemy territory. First down, here's the run with Cook. He'll get only a couple down to the 44.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Handoff comes to Cook. And he's got some space here. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. And that led to a really nice game.
Oh, he's got some breathing room. Open space inside the 10. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are able to make this a close game again. Oh, how about this? No good. Just his 2nd miss of the year. And our score will stay right where it is. Bailey now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. So Brees going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10, right at the 30. They begin on the ground with Kamara, and he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Two minutes to play here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. Off the play fake to Kamara, it's Brees. Eluding the pressure right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here, he throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Stepping up, he'll try and run. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. He'll pick up 7 there on the first down keeper.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. The Saints on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 30.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Dancing, and a big loss here as he's taken down. Anthony Barr. Able to track him down for a loss of 13, and it'll bring up 4th down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And now out up comes Minnesota. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and
got his man complete. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. On 1st and 10, Cousins. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. So they are going to call on Dan Bailey here. His career long is 56 yards done in Seattle. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
Now, after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. So a very tight first half. We had to break in a one-point game as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down.
And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Sheldon Rankins in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. A toss to Cook, and he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. It goes as a loss of 6, and now 3rd down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here. After 1st and 2nd down went backwards, it's 3rd and very long. They go play action. Cousins trying to lay one up deep. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way to the opposite 45. A big play there. Cousins to Thielen. And even 40 yards. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. They'll run it now out of the gun. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Cousins now on second down. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Only a yard there. Sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up third. The Vikings on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. From the gun, here's Cousins. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Now a second down throw for Cousins. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. A field goal would get them the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on third down. Third down, Dalvin Cook. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Call it a gain of 5. 4th down now.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
So unable to convert for the touchdown inside the red zone, but they do come away with 3.
Yeah, it's a 32-yarder. That's essentially an extra point nowadays, right? Because it's 33 as a general rule for these guys. So it should be a simple kick. But you know what's really strange nowadays? When they miss an extra point, I think they carry that with them longer than missing a field goal because an extra point's supposed to be automatic.
Absolutely, and I would think even field goals inside of 30 yards, even though they're substantially shorter than a PAT, it just has a different feel, doesn't it?
A different feel, a different vibe. That's what I get from all the kickers I talk to. They always say if I miss an extra point, that's the one that bothers me more.
And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Here's Hill now on second down. Over the middle, open is Thomas. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read. Better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. Wow, evasive.
Make a miss.
A huge play there on the screen pass. 48 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Sammy!
Into the red zone, it's Breeze. Now the ball comes loose, and the Vikings pick up the football. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. Trying to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. And he will lose yardage here back to his own 6. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Second down, Cousins. And, boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Over the middle here to Rudolph. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. A very solid gain of 27.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Cousins now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. So we come up here on 1st and 10. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you've got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
They will come up on a 1st and 5 following the encroachment penalty.
Listen to me. Hey, flipper.
Off the play fake, Cousins. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Alex Okafor in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11.
Come on, let's go. Grand 38. Grand 38.
And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. Cousins to throw it this time. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Breeze on the draw, gives to Kamara. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 47. Again, it's Kamara. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. Touchdown, New Orleans. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Saints have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter. Lutz with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
It's Patrick Robinson there on the stop.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Now Cousins. He'll find Thielen work in the middle. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Cousins now 11 of 17 passing thus far. He's got his guys a 1st and 10. A give. This is Cook. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
To throw is Cousins. Caught out left side by Robinson. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. And they just keep marching right along. 1st down on a pickup of 8 there.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him? Either fellow receivers or offensive linemen. That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
They run it for the first time with a backup Murray. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Back to the ground, this time Cook. It'll be a minimum pickup, and it will take us to the 2-minute warning. It'll be a gain of 2, and speaking of 2s, it'll take us to the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. Here we go, 3rd and 1 Gut check time on both sides. Cousins. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Manti Te'o. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Get set. Hey, kill. Left. Ready, what's up?
Breeze to throw. And Gibbs got it. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. Breeze to another long-time vet, Ginn, for the New Orleans first.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Ready. You ready?
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
The rush defense stout on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. They stay on the ground. This time it's Kamara. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
They don't want it, fellas. They don't want it. Keep playing hard, fellas, all day. Woo! Let's get it.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Saints, the win moves them up to 5-2 now on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the L.A. Rams. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, the struggles intensify as they drop to